Good morning and welcome to another Walk with Wingman. I hope you're doing well today. Happy Sunday for those of you who it's still Sunday, and happy Monday for those of you on other parts of the world where it is already Monday. I hope you had a good week last week. I apologize. I don't apologize, but I do apologize that I wasn't able to go for a walk last week. I need to shout out to the leaders from the American College of Lifestyle Medicine HEAL group, Health Equity Achieved Through Lifestyle. And we had a 4-hour strategic planning session, and I just was not able to navigate that session and preparing to have a meaningful walk. So I chose to forego the walk last week. Had a great session. I really am so proud to work with such a group of talented leaders that are moving HEAL into the next phase of its engaging with the community and talking about health equity and lifestyle medicine. And that was what consumed a large part of my Sunday last week. So healers, love you and look forward to working with you over the next 2 years. The other thing, and if you have time this morning, or if you don't have time this morning, I hope that you will join Besame and I. We have the pleasure of interviewing Claire Bartholic. Claire is, you may hear her on her podcast, which is called The Planted Runner, but she recently released her first book, and we were so excited to be able to have Claire in our podcast to talk about her own health journey, her navigating from becoming a non-runner to a runner, her focus on being plant forward and how plants can fuel runners. So if you are free later today, would definitely love for you to join us and listen to our interview with Claire Bartholic, the author of The Planted Runner. So what else has been going on in your world? Before I talk about a recap of last week's Mindset Monday, I did want to just bring American Heart Month to a close. This will be the last walk for this month, and remind you to focus on your heart health. It is so important. And there is a summit that's being sponsored. You can find it on Dr. Joel Kahn's website, and it goes through a whole host of wonderful things to educate and empower you about cardiovascular disease and heart health. And if you have an opportunity to log in and watch that 5-part series, I would highly encourage you to do so. I also wanted to remind you that Dr. Ganu, our friend who is looking to build a lifestyle medicine center in his home country, will be broadcasting today with some of the leaders in lifestyle medicine and talking about how we can leverage lifestyle to prevent and reverse disease. So a lot going on in the world. I'll have to see. Today's a bit of a working day, but I will definitely be there to support Dr. Ganu and listening into Dr. Kahn's lectures later this week. So I wanted to use the last couple minutes for today's walk just to do a recap of my blog post from last Monday. And I would love for you to share in the comments whether, one, you prefer to have these as just blog posts, if you like to chat with them on the walks. I really want to make sure that this time is good for you and that it's useful and worthwhile. I will be out here walking no matter what. This is my post-workout kind of cool down. So regardless, I will be here to be your wingman for movement, mindset, to talk about meals. And I just want to make sure that you are finding value because your time is precious. But I had a revisit last week of falling forward because I still talk to so many people, and I even talk myself out of it, of the fact that there is no shame, there is no reason to fear failure. And I mean, I guess I started by asking, when did we get afraid to fail or fall forward? When we were little, our parents encouraged us to, there was no shame in failing, whether it was learning how to walk or falling off, learning how to ride your bike and falling off your bike. Is something that we were encouraged to do. And we did so fearlessly. And then as we became adults, what was instilled into us that we became afraid to try new things and maybe not succeed. So, and I'm the same way. I would probably say that moving into my 20s, I became a little bit more conservative, not wanting to do poorly in school, not wanting to do poorly in my career. And then, probably when I went to work for Cerner and understood the concept of fail fast and learn and rapid cycle improvement, that's when I really started to apply those same principles to my life. Because if you never try anything new, you don't know what works and what doesn't work. So last week I was reading or listening to the 10% Happier podcast, and I heard Adam Grant talking about perfectionism and procrastination. And yes, that's a topic that we've spoken about many times, where we put off doing something because we're like, oh, it's not ready, or I just need to do this, or damn it, just do it. Get on. If you don't try it, you won't know, and it'll be easier to improve it if you give it a try. Sorry for swearing, but my point is that if you perseverate and procrastinate forever, you'll never get started, and you can't improve something that isn't actually that you're not actually working on. So you can overthink things, and again, I'm guilty. Even this walk with Wingman, I didn't I didn't really think it through. Was the streaming going to work? Was I was walking around the city or doing it when I'm at conferences in Florida? What happens if I lose the signal? What's the quality? Because I'm not monitoring it live. I just figured, as I've heard another podcast, just press play and we'll figure it out as we go along. Now, Marie Forleo tackled the same topic in her book, Everything is Figure Outable. And those of you who've seen me broadcast from my office know that I have that sign sitting behind me. And I remind myself every single day that everything is figure outable. But if you have perfection paralysis, I would highly encourage you to read chapter 8 in Marie's book. And at the end of her chapter, Marie provides several reflective questions, and I just want to close out today's walk by asking you to think about these things. The first is, as it relates to your dream or problem, what's one thing you're stopping yourself from exploring because you're not willing to be anything less than perfect? Question 1. Question 2, who might you become and what might you accomplish if you focused on progress and not perfection? And then the third question, which is actually mine, what's your plan B or your plan C? Because we know there's no perfection. So as you are formulating your plans, if this doesn't work, what then? You need to think about the challenges you might encounter and plan for them in advance. So those are the 3 questions that I would love for you to think about this coming week. You can review these on my blog post from last week for Mindset Monday. The key takeaways being, the key is progress, not perfection. Be consistent. Consistency is key. Have a plan A, B, and C. And then find ways to turn your self-doubt into positive self-talk. I know some of you probably eschew positive affirmations, but they do work. and be kind to yourself. Give yourself grace. Give yourself that high five that Mel Robbins talks about. And I hope you have a wonderful week. I will talk to you soon. This is another Walk with Wingman, just reminding you that there is no fear in terms of failing or falling forward. Try it, succeed. Your community will be here to lift you up. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.